We start our assembly now by hearing from two communities that have spent the last year dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Matthew, Princeville and Kinston. You will hear the story of how these two communities refused to let a disaster define them. Now, for the first of our community snapshots, please join me in watching a short video about Princeville, and then we'll hear and make welcome Linda Joyner and Gregory Bethea.
Historic Princeville in Edgecombe County, North Carolina, the nation's first town founded by former slaves after the Civil War, repeatedly has been flooded by the Tar River. Hurricane Matthew in October 2016 caused the latest flooding. Recently, landscape architects, designers, and planners from around the nation gathered in Princeville for a 5-day workshop. They donated their time and expertise to help Princeville citizens reimagine their future.
So the real intent is to bring together a set of design professionals, including architects, landscape architects, land use planners, to think about the future of Princeville. And from a design perspective, what can we do to visualize what policy options might look like so citizens can have an informed set of options to consider and to help them chart their future.
Princeville has a storied cultural history, but is also in a location that exposes it to a huge amount of risk with floods. And what we are trying to do in this 5-day period is to play out different alternative directions so that the town of Princeville can make informed decisions about how they want to proceed.
Having the community members come in, talk about, hey, this looks crazy, and erase that, put that over here, that's what's going to really lead this project forward. And those ideas that come from the community members, they are the value. It is the history, it is the life of the people that's most important.
Of fulfilling the dreams of our ancestors.
Princeville native and town commissioner Milton Bullock once was lead singer for the Platters. As designers went to work, he left them with this thought.
But only you can make this world seem right. Only you can make our darkness bright. Only you and you alone can help us with this throne. You're our dream come true. Now you know how we ended it all together. One and only you. I hear you, Mayor. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And so that is Princeville, a snippet of it. I'm Linda Joyner, Mayor Pro-Tem of Princeville. Princeville, the oldest town in America chartered by freed slaves. Princeville, a town of 2,200 citizens. Princeville, a town that's on 1,000 acres of land, and it's growing. I am so proud to stand before you to talk about Princeville today. I've been a native of Princeville since my senior year in high school. My family moved from, I'm the 10th child of a sharecropper. We moved to Princeville my senior year in high school, and I was so excited because we moved off the farm. When my family would sit around and we would talk and have family discussions, I would always tell my sisters and brothers, well, you know what I have to say is important because, you know, I'm the 7th child, and you know they say the 7th child is the child of wisdom. My brother, who was 1 year younger than me, said it probably was the 7th child that said that. But when we moved to Princeville, it was a very life-changing experience for us. At that time, I didn't realize that Princeville was the oldest town chartered by freed slaves because it wasn't talked about very much. And when I realized that, I made it my business to make sure that I would research it and would listen to it and would start talking about it. And that's exactly what I did. Talked about it and went on to complete high school in Tarboro and worked in different arenas, and never thought ever that I would be a leader of Princeville. I always considered myself as just being a citizen of Princeville. But I always knew that I would be one that would like to help promote Princeville and promote the rich history of Princeville. And I'm going to fast track here a little bit. I was sitting in my office one day at work, and I got a phone call, and a friend of mine that had a business in Tarboro said, I was asked to call you to see if I needed to come down. It was during the time for election of commissioners in Princeville. I was asked to come call you and see if you wanted me to come pick you up, or if you're going to go down to the Board of Elections and throw your hat in. I said, neither. He continued to talk as if I had said nothing. He said, so what time do you need me to come? Is it close to your lunch break? I said, I've already had lunch. He said, well, then I guess I'll see you down here when you get off, before you get off work. You need to leave early because they close at 5. So I sat there. I said, okay, talk with you later. Just hung the phone up. And as I sat there and I started thinking back about times that I had talked about, things that I thought should have been done better in Princeville, things that could be done better. I started thinking about things that needed to be done, things that I would like to see my community look like. And I said, okay, Linda, go for it. Told myself, you probably won't win anyway, because the person that that preceded me had been commissioner for 26 years and was doing a very good job. So I said, well, let me humor them. I'll go ahead and go down there and put my name in, and I'll give them something to talk about the day after. So I went there, put my name in the hat, started to campaigning, got little signs down the road and in different people's yards. I said, okay, let's see how this work out. I fell and broke my ankle. So I said, okay, no more campaigning for you. So I knew then, okay, this is it. Needless to say, at the end of the election, I was announced as winner for Ward 2 of Princeville. I won by 1 vote. I looked up to heaven and I said, so you got a sense of humor, right? Well, that's put me on a fast track. Well, that wasn't the fast track. What actually put me on the fast track of my role in leadership was on October the 8th, 2016. Now, I've been leaders in certain things. I've led songs in the choir. I had leading roles in public plays, in local plays. I've led being the first one to come out of the field when Dad say the day is done. I've led in several different arenas, but I never thought that I would be a leader of a community. Well, on October the 8th, 2016, as I said, I was put on a fast track to becoming a leader in the town of Princeville. I'll never forget that day because it was the day of my son's wedding. And we have been talking about the wedding. I actually directed the wedding. A lot of people thought it was my wedding, but, you know, because I took control and I took charge. I'm a leader. So we went ahead with the wedding, and it rained all that morning. The wedding was at 2 o'clock, and it rained all morning long. The meteorologist has said that we probably would not get a lot of the storm, and I counted on that. Right in the middle of the wedding, we heard sirens started to go off. We made it to the reception, and I guess we had been there about 30 or 40 minutes, and someone came and whispered in my ear and said, you need to call the town manager. They're talking about evacuating part of Princeville. And I said, for what? So I went ahead and I they told us the areas that were gonna be evacuated, and I announced it in the reception, and of course people panicked. Those people that were in a certain part of Princeville left the wedding and the reception, and they went there to gather their things. Well, by the time about 5 o'clock we were leaving the reception, we left the reception knee deep, water knee deep. That night, I was only able to make it to my son's and my now daughter-in-law's hotel room, and I slept in their hotel bed that night. So I guess I owed them a honeymoon. But just to fast track, Princeville is a town that we love. We are a resilient people. And we've been asked by many people, why don't you just walk away? We have no walk away in our bones. We have no walk away in our blood. We will not give up. We love Princeville. Our ancestors will be ashamed of us if we gave up. We're standing on the shoulders of our ancestors. And yes, Princeville is coming back. Bigger, better, and bolder. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share with you Princeville, the oldest town chartered by freed slaves. God bless you, and God bless Princeville.